everyone. We just wanted to tell a quick story about the goodness of God and just really about His perfect timing in our lives. About 2 years ago, a little bit over 2 years ago, Allan and I were living in Orangeburg, South Carolina, which is about 2 hours south of our hometown in Spartanburg. And we wanted to get back. To Spartanburg eventually, but it wasn't really on our radar to move back anytime soon. And then Allan got a phone call from Milliken, a company in Spartanburg, about a potential job opportunity. He had no applications in. He wasn't looking for a job. It just was one of those open doors that we felt like God had just opened for us to walk through. So,
and just found out that our company my plant was actually being bought. So it kind of fed into, hey, this might be a good time to start looking at different opportunities. But I wasn't pursuing it until after Milliken called. But then we actually started looking at that route, what that would look like, and really just from a financial sense, it actually didn't make sense
at all.
Took a cut in benefits, overall pay. So from the surface, it really didn't make sense moving back. But we still felt like there was something drawing us back to the upstate. And it wasn't, I don't feel like, just family. It was just there was something more to the move. But ended up deciding July 4th weekend that we were going to move back, and kind of started making that transition realistic, and we ended up doing August 31st move.
Yeah, and right after Allan had that opportunity and that open door, I reached out to a place where I had done a student rotation while I was in physical therapy school, and it was my ideal job. It's exactly where I wanted to work, and they actually had an opportunity for me to have a job there. So it was just like all these puzzle pieces were falling into place, and we weren't really having to try. It was just, God was just setting everything into place. And so yeah, we moved actually on my 26th birthday on August 31st back to Spartanburg, and we were just excited to be back home for me, excited about our new job opportunities, but not really knowing what God had in store beyond that. So 12 days later, we were with my father, and he was having some chest pain. So we ended up, long story short, going to the hospital. He was having a mild heart attack, but what we didn't know is that he had some major artery blockage in his heart, and he was going to need open heart surgery the very next morning. So the next morning was Saturday morning. We went in. He had quadruple bypass open heart surgery, came out of that really well. Everything was going great. And then 2 days into recovery, he was still actually in the recovery unit. He had a major stroke and was completely paralyzed on the left side of his body. So myself as a physical therapist, I knew exactly what that meant and what that could possibly look like for the future. And at first it was just devastating and very, very scary, the scariest thing that I've ever had to walk through. But he had a great attitude, a positive attitude, and we were just astounded by the fact that we had just moved back to Spartanburg 12 days before this happened.
And we decided we were not going to find a house yet, but live with her parents for a little while, and then the fact that we were living with them actually made things a little bit easier, because then Anna could be with her father and actually help all around the clock pretty much.
Yeah, so he got to have a live-in therapist. He called a drill sergeant, but it all worked out, to his glory, and my father has made a wonderful recovery. But we look back on that experience and all that we walked through, and we just cannot help but be amazed and astonished by God's grace in everything, and just his timely manner of moving us to Spartanburg and moving us in with my parents, and me being a physical therapist of all things that I could have chosen to be. From a young age, I knew that is what I wanted to do, and that is what I was called to do. And if I ever needed confirmation, this situation was even more so that. And just to see him now back to independent living and driving and walking and just
so much, it's amazing. And so much from my perspective, I questioned a lot of me taking this new role, because I felt like I was taking a decrease not only in pay, but also I didn't really feel like it was as good of an opportunity as where I was. But there was just something, again, just drawing us. But for me, I kept looking back on that, saying, did I make the right move? And God laid it out so perfectly that yes, this was the right move, no matter what the circumstances kind of said. But it was just amazing to see his hand move.
Yeah. So that's it. We just wanted to encourage somebody. We feel like somebody needed to hear this and be encouraged that sometimes God opens doors and leads you in certain directions that might not make sense, but you follow His lead and you follow that path, and there's always purpose in that, and there's always just His glory to be shown in each situation. Love y'all.